So now, ladies and gentlemen, live and in colour, it's Mr. Wayne Lovejuice.
The other day our producer Louis had a chat with an interesting chappie who said that the YouTube algorithms really aren't that happy. If a channel only broadcasts once a week, so we decided we can text ya whenever we've got a piece of news in our new book on the track extra. Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is John Downs and this young lady sitting on my elbow is Lilith Tinkerbell. I'm the director of the Centre for Fortean Zoology, which is, as far as we are aware, the largest cryptozoological organisation in the English-speaking world. My assistant Carl Marshall has suggested that I give you a definition of cryptozoology, and he has written that cryptozoology is the study of unconfirmed animal forms, the existence of which is based on 1. Testimonial evidence, or 2. Circumstantial evidence, or 3. Material evidence typically judged insufficient as data. But simply put, we investigate mystery animals and animal mysteries. Thank you for that, Carl. Now, for the last 15 years or so, I have been presenting a show called On the Track of Unknown Animals here on the CFZ YouTube channel. And for the last year and a bit, we have been very, very grateful to have the services of Louis, who is our producer, and he has dragged us kicking and screaming into the 21st century, and what was once a fairly ramshackle affair is now quite a slick half-hour show which goes out every Saturday afternoon at 3 and covers hard science, weird shit, and a soupçon of surreality, I think is probably the best way of putting it, which involves various members of the CFZ team wearing silly rubber masks and doing silly things. However, we've recently fallen foul of the YouTube algorithms, because I used to understand how they worked back in the old days, but apparently now the games have changed so many times that what I used to do in order to promote the show is now fairly pointless. Apparently, and this is mostly because young people apparently have much smaller attention spans than they used to have. Yes, Louis?
Young people don't need what?
Attention spans.
Oh, right, I forgot what I was talking about.
Because of this, YouTube have decided that a channel like ours, which only puts out one show of half an hour, which apparently is very, very long indeed in YouTube terms, putting out one show of half an hour once a week doesn't give us preferential treatment by their algorithms. And so, because the young people seem to want a shorter show, and because YouTube's algorithms allegedly want a shorter show, not because I do, we're putting out a second show. We're going to put out something called On the Track Extra, which is going to come out in the middle of the week whenever we have got something for you. We're not going to put it out if there isn't anything to say, but as long as there's a story of some sort to be covered, we'll be covering it and we'll be telling you about it here. And today I'm talking with my old friend Carl Marshall, who's Assistant Director of the Centre for Fortean Zoology and Head of the CFZ Mystery Cat Study Group. Okay, Carl, once again there has been a mysterious footprint reported in British newspapers, and the story comes from a group that I have been following called Puma Watch North Wales, who claim that in the Ince marshes in Cheshire there have been no less than 3 sightings of a black puma over the last year. Well, as you and I know, and as I expect many of the viewers of this educational, edifying and entertaining little show will also know, there ain't no such thing as a black puma. Or, if there is, it is massively, massively, massively rare. So, these are the Ince marshes, and apparently, I'm finding it very difficult to hold it up so it shows in the screen, but these are the Ince marshes, and in the middle of the Ince marshes there's something saying, do I want to check my GDPR something or other, and the answer is no, I don't. Because here we have the Ince marshes, and here we have a footprint that a dog walker found in the same place, in the same location. So, Carl, what do you think of it?
Well, I think we can be pretty certain that this is a canid. The breadth, the deposition of the digital pads, the space between the toe pads and the plantar pad, and the clear impression of claw marks are all pretty suggestive, I think, of a canid, probably a large dog.
So, just as a quickie, I know you've done this before, but you'll probably have to do it again. How do you tell the difference? Because you've got a rule of thumb, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right. Well, healthy canine tracks usually show clear symmetry. If a spoor has been made by a large cat, if you superimpose an X shape onto the track itself, it wouldn't sit so neatly between the first and second toes and the third and fourth toes, not without touching the edges of the plantar pad or any of the adjacent toes. So if it sits nicely in between the toes and doesn't touch the pad, it's a dog 9 times out of 10.
Thank you very much for that, Carl. Very, very useful. And I suggest that people out there in the viewership land, when you see a footprint that you can't identify, try using Carl's methodology, but always take a photograph of it with some frame of reference, like a 50p piece or something, and send it to us, because Carl and I will have a look at it, and if possible we'll discuss it here on the Track Extra. And that's it for the first episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back. I can't say when we'll be back, because we'll be back when we're back, when we've got more news for you. So until then, be seeing you.